Welcome back to another episode of City Refs, the unofficial officials. I'm your boy Mondo, and we're here with the legendary Robby Kristo. Thanks for hopping on, brother.
Thanks for having me, man. It's always a pleasure to make some content with you guys and have some fun doing it.
Yeah, it's just funny. I was talking to Danny, which she couldn't be here tonight. Man, I think you were our first interview on field when we came to the ambush.
You know, if I didn't have so many concussions this year, I might remember
Yeah.
that.
I'm gonna have to replay the clip, but oh man, it was funny because we had no idea what we were doing, man. I think we got way too drunk that game. We're like, I don't know, we'll just go out there, ask some questions.
So it was a great time.
Yeah, it always was. But
That's great.
yeah, it was funny. We were also talking too. I was like, man, the first time I talked to Robby, I was like, that dude was so professional, caught me off guard because, like I said, we were drunk as hell. And then after like a few times that we created some content, you started letting loose. I'm like, yeah, that's my boy right there.
I'm media trained a little bit, you know.
Yeah,
So once I get a feel for you, I know where to go with it.
yeah, that's pretty funny. But wasn't funny is we kind of talked about it a little bit with DJ Prue a little bit. So I showed up like a minute late to the last home game, and then next thing you know, you're in a wheelchair. You want to kind of tell the fans what happened here?
Yeah, man, it was wild. Basically, 20 seconds in the game, we have possession and give it up. They pass it back to KC, and I sprint to the goalie to get the ball, and he plays it off the boards. And the moment I plan and turn, my knee blows out. Literally, and I've had injuries before. I felt like I got shot in the knee.
Ooh.
My ACL just popped. I heard a huge noise, and I was down for the count. After 5 seconds, man, my whole leg was numb. I didn't feel anything. It was wild. I mean, it was just like this. And I mean, I don't have any knee problems. I've never had any knee problems, stuff like that. So pretty wild how it just happened.
Yeah, man, that's really unfortunate. But I mean, so I thought you weren't even at the game because we're like, where's Robby? Because we just missed all of it. And then afterwards, we just see you in this dope green Blues jersey, just rolling around in the wheelchair.
That was the St. Patty's Day jersey. I've had that for a while, and I can only wear it 2 times out of the year: Mardi Gras and St. Patrick's Day.
Oh man, yeah, that still blows our mind, dude. That's crazy. And then how long did you say you were out again?
Man, it's between about 9 months.
9 months, man. You could have a baby, dude.
For real.
Yeah,
My fiance, I am going to be the baby, so
yeah,
he's got to take care of me now.
yeah. I remember her telling us, "Hey, don't treat him like a baby. He can do it himself." I was like, "All right."
Yeah. She's huge, and I'm an only child, right, in my household, so it's baby. So when I come home to her, she doesn't want anything to do with it.
Is she gonna get mad? You got all this time to do some fishing now, man.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about that. I'll have some downtime. The only thing that I mean, obviously being injured sucks. I'm gonna miss TST, which is a bummer. It's a really great tournament. If you guys ever get a chance to go, definitely worth it for content, for activities, for everything.
Yeah.
But I can't golf.
Oh, yeah. I know we talked about it a little bit, but yeah, man, golfing.
That's I was getting ready for the summer, man. I was excited, and I got a wedding in September too. So hopefully I'm should be good to walk and then dance by then. But no running, no physical activities till about that November mark.
Damn, that just oof. I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
But like we said, you can fish. You don't need a need to fish.
I'm excited. I got a buddy. I called him up right away. So you saw the picture of the bass I caught about a couple weeks ago. We love bass and trout fishing. Obviously, I can't really trout because the waders and a bad knee don't work out.
Yeah.
But he's got a boat, so we'll go on the boat a little bit and we'll get after it.
Oh yeah, my fishing trip's coming up.
Where you going?
Just Lake of the Ozarks.
Great place.
Oh yeah. So my brother-in-law lives in Manhattan, Kansas. Obviously, we're here, so we just meet in the middle, kind of.
That's perfect, actually.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys get a boat and everything, or what?
Yeah, so my father-in-law has a boat too, and then my brother-in-law he says he has a pleasure boat and then a fishing boat, and I'm like, I don't want to get on the pleasure
Pleasure
boat,
boat.
you know what I mean?
Maybe when we're not fishing.
Yeah. And so the last couple years it's just been the three of us, which it kind of sucks when you fish three people in the boat, especially in Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Because it's like one or two people are going to catch the fish, and someone always gets screwed over. You know?
100. I do two max, and then if there's gonna be more people, go get another boat.
Yep. Yeah. So my father-in-law is getting like a little bit older, harder to move around. So we're like, yeah, throw him on the boat. But if we have a fourth, then we can get another boat.
Yeah, 100%. That's fair. Make him the driver.
Yeah. But yeah, really looking forward to that, man. But Danny did want me to ask you this question. So when we first got on the scene, what were your initial thoughts about the city rest? Were you like, what the hell are these two clowns doing?
I look, man.
You can be honest.
Shout out to Ambush Nation, but you never know what you're gonna get. So I was excited, man. I was mainly, and obviously I looked you up a little bit when you guys joined, and the city part that you guys just kind of were part of, right? And that was exciting, and it's cool because I've been in that environment, man, and I've been in that kind of those kind of stadiums and people that would create content and stuff, especially in Germany and stuff in Italy. And it was cool because I know most of the guys on the team, right? I used to play with
Yeah.
them, and so you guys are on the higher end of the of the spectrum there.
Okay.
So
All right.
it was I expected some pretty cool content, and we've done some cool stuff. I mean, that challenge stuff and all that. So I mean, I think it was fun, man. I think you guys I actually had high hopes for you guys.
That's awesome, man. I was pumped. Yeah, the skill games, we kind of just threw that together, but I mean, that was a blast, dude.
Yeah,
That was a great
I mean,
time.
they definitely cheated. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait, that's my team.
yeah, yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
we didn't
yeah.
cheat. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Your
yeah.
whole team cheated for sure because I
Oh
usually
man.
don't lose those, but I was probably over concussed before that, so that's my excuse.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, but no, it's fun, man. It's good. We are look, it's indoor soccer, and as professional as it is, it's still not anywhere near the MLS, right? And so we get to do stuff like this, and it actually is fun for us as players, right?
Yeah.
And to like talk with people like you guys, right? Like we make time for that. We're not kind of like big nose, thinking we're too good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we like some, and you guys are actually a fun group, right? You guys do fun stuff, and it's hilarious. And then, man, if I could celebrate by drinking your beer every goal, I would.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like stuff
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
awesome. I will say I will never forget that moment. I was just talking to DJ Prue about this, of us all in the locker room. Paula walks in, we're all dancing, throwing the beer on him. Dude, that was sick,
Yeah.
dude. Like, I'll take that moment to the
Imagine
grave,
if we
baby.
won more games.
I, a lot more hangovers, tell you that.
Ain't worth it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh man, but yeah, I mean that whole season was a blast. Like I think what made it that fun, like you said, you guys are all so humble, so nice, so welcoming. I mean, as soon as we walked in, you guys welcomed us in like family. So I mean, we just hit it off right away. But yeah, doing the content with you guys, getting to know you guys, I mean, that's what made the season for us, honestly.
Yeah, and it makes it fun for us. Like it's not just for you, but for us doing extra stuff like that and getting to know you guys. And like, look, I hope to go fishing and golfing with you sometime. Like that's cool. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's fun stuff. It's not like I don't think any of the guys find you guys like annoying or hassling. Like if you reach out, we're so down to do anything. You guys kind of take me for granted, but to help out.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I was like, I hate like over asking some stuff, but like, and then they like, if anyone is ever like, I can't do it, I'm like, all right, no problem, man.
Yeah,
We'll figure something out. But
yeah, and I mean,
yeah, you,
most of us have plenty of time. To be
yeah,
completely honest, 70% of the team is just playing and coaching. And so there are guys that have jobs and stuff, but we can always make time. And then a big thing for me is, and then I live by this motto is, you can make time for things you think are important. You
oh,
know what I mean?
100%.
So,
Yep.
and I feel like joining you guys and kind of doing stuff like this, I think it's a blast, man. I mean, and even not just with us, the stuff you do with City, man. That stuff like I watch, I enjoy, and it's also cool for me because I know most of the guys, but some of the guys I don't know, and then you guys do an interview with them and stuff, and I find it funny, and I get to know the guy and his personality and kind of how they live, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like that shit's cool.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Like, we just did an interview with Nowinski today. We're hoping to roll that out. But like last year, like he seemed super shy, like didn't really interact with the fans a lot from what we could see. And so we didn't know what we were going to get into. And then we started talking to him. We're like, man, this dude's cool.
Yeah,
Like, but you never know until you chat with someone.
100%,
So
hundred
yeah.
percent.
So
And it's from what I hear that locker room's a pretty good group of guys. So
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
that's good too. I mean they started pretty well. I mean they haven't lost a game yet, I don't think.
Nope, yeah, undefeated right now. I mean, one win, but undefeated.
Still, it still counts points a point, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
Yeah, and you said you know Tim, right? Can you tell the fans a little bit like how you
Yeah, me
cross
and Tim go
paths with
way
Tim?
back, man. We were young. We were on the U18 and the U20 national team together. And so when we were on the U18s, we were deciding where we were going to go to school because we were not committed yet. And he decided to go to St. John, and I went to SLU, and we were both going to those like good high value schools. And we were um, he was like one of my first friends in the national team camp. And the kid who is a man now, but the kid
Yeah,
was a man back then.
it's
He
a
is a
bear,
unit, and I
dude.
know he is a unit now, like you can tell on the soccer field. But when that guy was 18, 17 years old, he was the fastest, the biggest, the highest jumper, the most aggressive. Like the guy was a freak, and
Yeah,
it's so crazy to me because I saw him. I don't know how long ago, been a month or two. Um, and I saw him and just how the man carries himself, and because I knew him as a little kid, right? We were 17, we were little
yeah,
shits, and just how he's transformed, and now he is basically a co-captain, right? And to see that side of him, and it's like you can see the locker room guys and how they look up to him, and how he leads the group, and how he kind of carries that leadership with him, and it
yeah.
goes a long way. The dude's a solid dude, and he's always like willing to help out and stuff like that. So I mean, I got nothing bad to say about Tim, man. It's just um, he's done such a great job, and I mean, he's had a hell of a career. He's been everywhere. I remember when I first signed my pro contract in Italy, and we were talking. He was trying to get overseas, but with Americans back then, it was very hard to get visas. So he was thinking about moving. I think he was with Vancouver where he started, if I'm
Yeah,
not
Vancouver.
mistaken.
Yeah.
And it was going okay for him, but he was trying to get overseas. And then where did he go after Vancouver?
Houston, maybe.
Houston. Was he in New York at all? No, no, that's
Um,
his hometown. Um,
yeah, I don't know if he went to the Red Bulls for a little
yeah,
bit. Let
that's
me
what I
look it
don't
up
know,
while
but I
we're
know he was
talking.
trying to get overseas, but he couldn't get visa stuff figured out. But man's had a hell of a career. And then the other kid I know very, very well is Az Jackson. So Az played with me my very last pro career um, season in North Carolina, and he was on loan from Minnesota at the time. And the kid had talent. He was young. I don't even think he was 20 years old yet, and there was some talent to him. So the moment he figured out he was getting bought out by City, he called me. He goes, "Hey, dude, where am I going to live? What am I going to do? Like it's St. Louis. It's easy to figure out. Like, just don't live downtown."
Yeah, yeah, don't live that. So, we've gotten to know Az pretty well. Like, he's hopped on an episode with us, and then, we see him now, like around, like he started his own
Yep.
brand and stuff like that. So we get to talk to him a lot, and the dude's a character, man. And like, even if he's not good at anything, he's like his confidence level is
Oh,
through the
it's
roof,
it's
man.
unbelievable. What was I think one day we were playing FIFA back in North Carolina, and he's not the greatest FIFA player, but before I talked to him, I thought he was world class, man. I thought he was going to 10-0 me, and I play a lot of FIFA. Don't get me wrong, right? And he does have good, but it's good, man. And as a pro, I think that goes a long way.
Oh,
That self
100%.
belief, man, and just believing in yourself to start off is everything. But the kid has it. The kid is talented. And I know he's gonna make a move to Europe here eventually. He's
Oh
he's
yeah.
young. He has that European like swag to him. Um, it's just his problem was, did he mature fast enough, right, to where he was, because he was in the league at what, 18 years old. And so some
Yeah, he's
kids,
young.
it's so hard to grow up, and he's gone a long way for sure. And I think Timmy has taken him under his wing, man, and I can see the difference in Az already, which is pretty crazy to see, because like you see a kid that's first in the league, right, just getting into it, and now I saw him a couple years later, and he's a little more grown, a little more understanding, and when he first got here, he wasn't playing too much, and so he called me up. He's like, "Man, this and man that," and I just tell him, "Man, just do you. Focus on you." He goes, "There's a coach there. He likes him right now. But if you do you, you worry about what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right. You'll figure it out." And the man's starting on just about every game now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he started like every game. Maybe not
Yeah.
one, but
So I mean, he's on the right track too, and that group has some very very good leadership, and having Roman back there as well is huge.
dude, that's insane. But I did look it up before we move on. Tim Parker was at Vancouver, then went to Red
Yep.
Bulls, then Houston, and
Yep,
then
yep.
came
So
to
that's what it was. He had a
St.
stint in the
Louis.
Red Bull for a little bit, and that was when he was trying to get over. But it was his hometown, which is shocking. But
That's pretty wild. But man, I think even the city fans would love to hear those stories you just shared. You know about Tim Parker, AZ.
the people
That's
like people always look at an athlete and look at all these like, and I will say like, oh, they're pro athletes, easy life, you know. And
yeah,
those two have been through some shit, man. They've had to fight and claw and get to where they're at now. And to see Parker from when he was 17 to where he is now, to me was the I was amazed. And I've been in
yeah,
those shoes, right? And I was amazed at the character he has and the leadership in it, and that glow he carries around himself, right? That's huge, and that takes time and energy and practice, right? And then also with
yeah.
AZ, like just stuff like it's for me, it's like AZ was like my little brother there, right? And so he was always hanging out with me and kind of coming over to me and Lacey's having dinner, and kind of he was alone in North Carolina. And just to see him now as a kind of like a grown little bit, and he's still a kid. Don't get me wrong, um, but it's cool. And the fans sometimes, they don't get that aspect of it. When are you ever going to hear
Yeah.
stories like this and stuff like that? So it is good. It is very good.
Yeah, because I mean, like even when we do interviews with them, like we kind of get the like the off-field
Yeah,
interview
yeah,
kind of stuff. But even stories like that, though, it's like I wouldn't even know how to ask that because I just don't
right,
know. Like a lot of people just don't
right.
know. So it's really cool to hear. What else you got, man? This is some good stuff here.
What do you want to know about, dude?
No, I'm just. Do you know any of the other guys on the team? I know you're
Um,
real close with AZ
so
Parker.
what's his name? I actually played against one of the kids, which I didn't know until. Is it Nielsen? Is that the center back? Nielsen.
Nielsen? Yeah,
He had a knee injury, right? Well, when he played for
yeah,
Bielefeld, I played for Osnabrück, so we actually played against each other back in the day, not knowing each other. So that was kind of cool. I talked to him, and then my very first time in Germany, I played against Roman. It was a friend.
Oh, you score on
No,
him?
we got destroyed 7-0 by Dortmund, and it was a friendly game. But they're incredible. Just playing against those guys, and we played against Borussia Mönchengladbach and a couple other big teams too. But Dortmund, just that essence, man. And I knew when Roman was coming here, there was a reason. Like
Yeah,
that leadership. But to be honest, all Germans are like that. If you have a German that made it to the professional level at that level, they are so professional. Like they're just born and bred for it, because they have a lot of talent they can choose from. And if you make it past everybody and make it to the pros, you're doing something crazy, right? Not just talent wise, but leadership wise and your lifestyle wise, and take care of your body. And so I got my ACL right now, right? And I'm not trashing American, or ambush or anything, but like the amount of treatment and level I got in Germany every day on a daily basis, and the things they wanted me to do, and the exercises and everything daily, compared to here, is night
yeah,
and day. And there's there's a reason they're one of the best national teams in the world, right? And they're the best one of the best
yeah,
leagues in the world and stuff like that. They really it's America is this. It's a business. It always
right.
has been a business from the
Yeah,
youth, and I see it now because I coach. There, it is a business, but the business is level of success, right? The better you are, the
yeah,
higher your brand is. So they really focus on some stuff over there that I think the U.S. lacks a little bit. Um, but
yeah.
also, look, man, we have the NBA, we have the NFL, we have other sports that make millions of dollars, and we have the best athletes in the world. So you can't expect a whole country to dive in on one sport.
But it's just crazy. Like we have the technology. We know we
We
have
have everything.
the resource. Hey, we
I'm
have
gonna
it.
tell you
Yeah, we
this:
just
our facilities are better than any facilities in the world by far. Look at the city's facility. That thing is incredible.
yeah. I can't wait to
Have,
tour that thing. So I just
have
got
you
to
not
go
toured it
to
yet?
Sporting KC. No, not yet. I
Oh,
haven't
the
toured it
place
yet.
is phenomenal. But continue.
Okay, so I went to Sporting KC because my niece had a dance competition, so the fans don't get on me. So I went to the game there. My buddy's an athletic
Okay.
trainer there, and I got to tour their facilities. Dude, it was
Phenomenal.
insane as
Phenomenal.
well. Yeah, so like the U.S. men's national team share that
Yep. Yep.
facility. And then I don't know. He goes, David Beckham says this is the best facility in America of
KC
ours.
is.
or in the
KC is
country.
one
Yeah,
of the
yeah, in
best.
the
So
country.
I was actually supposed to sign with KC out of college. I would go there.
Sporting
Sporting
KC.
KC. I was I actually had a very good college career, believe it or not. I and it ranked me up pretty high to the MLS draft. I just decided to go to Europe instead because I had a Croatian passport.
Mm,
Um, and so KC and Columbus were the two teams that were looking at me, and I'd go train there every summer. So Peter would have me come with the first team, and I'd train for about 2 weeks at a time, and I'd stay at Ray Lee's house, who was at KC. He was at SLU with me, and then we'd go and train with the first team, and that's when they were good. So like Kevin Ellis last year, if you remember Kevin Ellis, he was playing for them,
yeah.
which is how I knew Kevin Ellis before indoor, and
Mm,
um,
okay. Yeah.
and so they were KC is probably top 2 or 3 in overall MLS level facilities, coaching, staff, players, overall all in. I mean, excluding St. Louis right now because they haven't been in it long enough to kind of rate,
Yeah.
but they have a very, very good overall structure.
Man. Yeah. So now, I mean, in hindsight, I mean, I know it's easier to say. Like, do you wish you would
Yes.
have went to SKC?
Oh no, 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 no. I look back. I thought about it. I thought about this a lot. So I got to play in Europe for 5, 6, 7 years. Right. Did my career span out and I become like a national team player? No. Right. But I learned so much, man. I got to live in different countries. I got to do shit that people don't get to do on a in their lifestyle, right? And so,
Yeah.
do I wish when I got back, I hopped on an MLS team for a little bit? Yeah. Do I wish City had a team 4 years ago? I probably would have went for that one. Right, playing for a
Yeah.
hometown kind of thing would have been great. My agent called me before I retired, and he said, "Do I want to go play for City too?" Um, I was 28 at the time, and the money wasn't great because it's a City 2 team. And this was before all the signings, all the big purchases and stuff. So I was kind of shifty about it. I said, man, no, I've just had so much travel and all this. I got to figure out what's next. And,
Yeah.
but looking back on it now, I wish I did it. I wish I did it
Yeah.
just because, man, it's awesome. That environment, even if I never made the first team, the environment, the people, the stadium, the how much. And I know St. Louis was a soccer city, right? It always has been. I grew up
Yeah.
here, but to witness it firsthand. So I went to the very first game. Obviously, I had goosebumps, man. And I've been in stadiums. I played stadiums with 30,000 people in it. It's just this was different.
Yeah.
This was home, and this was our first game, and it was wild.
Yeah.
I was in shock. So I took SK to that game, and we were both like, this is it. This is great." So, is there a little bit of regret some places, but where in life do you have where you don't have some regret, right?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, like the things you got to do and
So,
learn
so
and
cool
everything. So, I
story.
mean,
This is where I signed my first contract. This
oh,
is Cinque
that's
Terre,
dope,
Italy,
man.
and that's where I signed my first contract. That's why it's hung up right there. Um, like I got to live there, dude, for 2 years. And I was
Yeah, that's
21 years
awesome.
old. Living. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do. Excuse my language, but like
Yeah.
21, family guy. Mom always lived on the road. To move across the whole world to go pursue your career um, was crazy. And people don't understand the mental toughness. And I didn't have it at first. I was a kid, man. I was a college kid. Um,
Yeah.
and but the experience, the people I met, man, the people I played with, it was pretty incredible.
I can only imagine. It's crazy. I mean, like you were saying, with the St. Louis stadium too, like being that first game. Like I remember getting goosebumps too, man. Like your hometown finally
Yeah.
got the team, in MLS, and when that national anthem hit,
Why?
woo,
I don't
yeah,
know who built the damn stadium, but they did an incredible job. Like the
oh yeah,
stadium looks great. It's the perfect size, and everyone always complained to me about this. Why aren't they building $50,000 or 50,000 people capacity stadium? Because we don't need that. This is perfect,
yeah,
and
yeah. I
we
mean,
might be able to fill it out. To be honest, with how many people are in St. Louis,
yeah, I
but
know,
but
yeah,
it is
yeah,
loud. It's compact. every game's just been about a sellout.
I would just say a couple more thousand, maybe like two, make it even
I'm pretty sure they
25,000.
can
Be
add
perfect.
to.
Yeah, that's what
I've
I heard
heard
too.
that
That's what I heard
stadium
too.
is able to add, and they will. They will whenever it happens. If they have another year like last year and they kind of stay on the map and then are pretty good, they know they'll make money
Yeah, that's like, I mean, there's still thousands of people on the
for
wait
the
list.
season ticket holders. Yeah, I don't even
Yeah,
have season tickets, and I regret not getting them. But with playing for the ambush and traveling how much I do, I was just like, there's no point. But I mean, good thing is I can always get tickets, right? Just knowing the guys
yeah.
on the team, or even what I have a cheat code now. I don't even bother Tim or AZ for tickets anymore because they're in town. They got a million people coming to the games. You know who I call?
Who?
I know at least one person on every opposition team.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the secret, dude. And they get at least 4 tickets.
That's awesome.
So I call up somebody on the opposing team that I know at the time, like, hey, leave me 4. And like, yeah, I'm not doing anything with them.
That's
I was like, they're
crazy.
like, I don't know anyone in St. Louis.
What if they're like, all right, but you got to wear my jersey?
I would wear them. They're my buddies.
Yeah,
Why
get in
not?
there. Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
But I get a different aspect from a coaching or from a favorite team kind of thing because don't get me wrong, I love City, right? Like that is kind of cool to have. But I've never had a favorite team growing up.
Yeah.
I was more of a player guy, and obviously my favorite player in the world, right?
No, I don't think I do.
If you could take a wild guess, he's a striker, big guy. He just retired.
Who is this? I don't want to say the wrong.
Zlatan.
Oh, I could have guessed this. Yes.
I mean, that guy's so everywhere. So
Ibra,
you know,
baby.
he's the legend, right? Like he is to me when I was growing up, he was God, man. He
Yeah.
was he was the idol. He was everything. Coolest thing ever. And this is how they got me to North Carolina. So I was coming back to the States, and the head coach that just took over the North Carolina job was Dave Sarakin, who was who Dave Sarakin is?
Yeah.
Dave Sarakin was the interim coach after what's his name Klinsman got fired, and he took
Hmm.
over for a year and a half, and then he was in the MLS for a while, but he took a head coach at North Carolina and in the USL Championship, and I was coming back from injury, so I was like, yeah, let's do it. How he got me was he coached David Beckham in LA.
Oh
He was
shit.
part of that group, but he also coached David Beckham, Zlatan, uh, Keane. Like he had a good group, so he had some knowledge of dealing with players. So it was kind of cool to work with him and see his insights. He just got done with the national team. Um, but I heard so many stories, man. And this is what I'm telling you. Like I always thought about opening a podcast, and the podcast would be just. And this was before everyone now starts a podcast.
Oh
It's a
yeah.
thing now.
Yeah.
But this was before COVID because I know so many guys, right, in all parts of the world, man. They're in Italy, they're in Germany, they're in the MLS, and I could just kind of pick brains, and this is why I kind of love doing podcasts. You could just talk, man, and just get people to tell you things that you've never even heard.
Yeah, yeah, I mean just these stories. Like this was supposed to be a 15-minute segment and I'm having a blast, dude. Like
Yeah,
it's going to be a whole
that's
episode.
that's my problem. I don't
Yeah.
shut up.
No, it's all good, man. It's just like Danny's going to be pissed. Well, he can watch it later, but he's going to be pissed he didn't hop
we'll, we'll
on.
we'll uh we'll go fishing sometime. Get everything. Get you the good stories.
Oh yeah, dude, he loves fishing too. That's how we reconnected. Like we played soccer when we were younger, like I don't know, 5th, 6th grade maybe, and then we went our own separate ways. And then COVID happened, and then I saw he was at all the good fishing spots, so I hit him up, and I'm like, bro, you gotta take me to some of these spots. And then we just started fishing, then we started golfing, and then
Yep,
we started going to soccer games together again. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah,
Fishing, man.
absolutely.
I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah, yeah, we'll definitely have to get out there. But I mean, that's just crazy, man. I'm kind of mind blown. I didn't know what I'd get tonight, but all these stories, it's wild, man.
I got a lot more. I can't get them on a podcast, but
Yeah.
I've got fun stories for you, man. That's personal stories. I can tell you stuff, man. That I was almost kicked out of college.
Were you?
Yeah, this one's out there. So I recently, right in 2021, I got inducted to the SLU Hall of Fame, and I'm getting a call, and this is after the college kickout, but I'm getting a call in 2021, and it's a random call, and it says spam on your phone, right?
Yeah.
And so they call me 6 times in a row. So I finally answer, and I go, Domino's, can I take your order? Because I was annoyed. I was like, stop calling me.
Yeah.
Long pause, and the lady goes, Robby? And I was like, yeah, and, and I was like, she's in shock. I was like, how did you know my name?
Yeah.
Um, and she goes, hey, this is I forgot her name right now, but from Chris May's office, the AD. He'd like to have a word with you. I was like, oh my God, yes. He goes, Robby Kristo, I got a piece of paper in front of me right here. I'm gonna read it to you. And I was like, and I literally said, what did I do now? We have a good connection with the AD. And he's like, he starts laughing. He goes, Robby Kristo has been inducted in the SLU Hall of Fame. And I go, no way. And he
Oh
answers me
man.
back, goes, yes way. And but the story, and I was in shock because I said, "What did I do now?" I got some mischief back in college, and it wasn't anything terrible. Looking back at it, it was kind of bad, but it wasn't like alcohol or drugs or stuff like that. Um, so we had scholar teams in the soccer. So you had 3 or 4 guys that are on the same scholar team, and you compete
Yeah.
every week. You have to go get your grades signed by the teacher. You turn it in, stuff like that. And I'd when my that I had the assistant dean as my teacher to the business school, and I turned in my sheet, and he didn't show up that day, and I had to get an interview and get deducted points. So my dumbass signed for him and gave myself a C plus.
Oh man.
I walk into our office, hand it off, go up to see coach, come back down. The guy that I handed it off to calls me up. He goes, "Hey, did you just hand me this?" I said, "Yeah, yeah." That's. He goes, "Well, your professor just walked in about 5 minutes after you had handed it, and he gave you a B minus, and he signed it." So they wanted to kick me out of the school. They wanted to do this. And then the AD and the professor actually kind of kept me in it. And they kind of said, look, he made a mistake. Obviously, he wasn't trying to do any harm from it. I had to do like
Yeah.
a 500 word essay about why it's wrong and stuff like that. I had to do some community service. Um, and then 2 weeks later, I got kicked off the soccer team for 2 weeks. I was suspended. I couldn't hang out. I couldn't go to
Oh
the
man.
athletic thing, everything. And then in those 2 weeks, we were moving into a new building, an athletic building, to like where the athletes live. And no one. It was at the end of spring, so it was summertime. We were moving in a new building, and the athletes stay in the summer to do summer school. They train to do other stuff, and no one else is in the building. And the building's huge. And we didn't have our full. We had extra guys sleeping at our dorm or our apartment because they had nowhere to stay. So I went to the lobby and I stole the couches from the lobby and I put them in my room. And I got caught by
Oh
camera
my god.
doing it. And my excuse was I was just measuring because we didn't have a measuring tape to see what couches can fit.
Oh my gosh,
So I
bro.
got in trouble for that too. So it was a rough year. I think it was my sophomore year.
That's
And it
a
was
good
my
excuse though, man. That's
it,
hilarious.
and it was an interesting time, but
You know what's crazy though is about that grade. Like you gave yourself a worse grade.
I actually did, and and that's kind of I think that actually helped me out a little bit.
Yeah, because if you would have gave yourself like an A plus, I'd be like, oh yeah, this dude's
Yeah, he's
cheating or something. You're
cheating, he's doing all this. No, I gave myself a worst grade. He handed in a B, and I was like, oh, that's nice.
like, yeah, that's wild, dude. Oh my gosh, dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
Well, hey man, it's always nice talking to you. We'll have to. I need to save some of these good stories for Danny, man. We're gonna have to have you back on the pod for sure.
we'll have some stories. I got plenty. I got plenty. What do you want? You want old soccer stories? You want whatever, man? I got it.
Yeah, all the above. We're gonna have to get you in the ADA spots, the handicap spots at City, and
I
we'll hang
actually
it.
was. I got to get out. Are you in the fan section?
Not anymore. We just got season tickets. We have seats now, like right across from it.
How is the fan section? I've yet to be in. I've been to plenty of games, but I haven't been to the fan section.
The supporter section is like it's unreal, man. I mean, you're standing the whole time, but
Well,
it's
first of all,
like
everyone's standing the whole time, regardless.
yeah,
The
yeah,
one thing
yeah,
I've realized:
exactly.
no one ever sits down in that stadium.
Yeah, I mean the flags are going, the chants are nonstop, and honestly, it's whoever you go with too. I feel like with me and Danny, anywhere we go in the stadium, we're having a blast.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We're
yeah,
we're up, we're causing mayhem, we're all doing stuff. But yeah, I mean the supporter section is nice. I heard sometimes in the south end, like you don't hear all the chants or like
yeah.
that vibe. So a lot of people are quiet. I don't want quiet. I want
Hundred
it
percent,
rowdy.
100%.
Yeah. So
And my excuses for that is everything is new still, right? The whole city doesn't know the chants yet.
yeah,
Once that settles in and this kind of gets popular, when the whole stadium knows every single chant, like you're going to a European game and everyone knows it because they've been chants for 100 years. You
yeah.
know, that's
hmm
the next step. Is the whole stadium get involved and knows every single chant and kind of what to do. Then it's gonna be electric.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, when everyone gets involved, it's just a different feeling. Like, this is the weirdest story, but like, I went to Atlanta. It was before they had their stadium. They played at one of the colleges. I don't even remember what
Yeah,
it was.
I played in that college. I
Yeah,
because I played against
it was
Atlanta. Yeah,
it was a huge school or a huge
yeah,
stadium. But we're in there, and I go to the bathroom, and I mean, it's packed, dude. There's like a whole line out the bathroom. Every urinal's taken, and all you hear is like "ole ole ole," and like, and the whole like I started chanting it. Everyone just started going. That even gave me goosebumps.
yeah,
It's like the weirdest spot, but like
yeah.
everyone was so involved. It was just like super
Just
dope, man.
chanting while
Super
you're
dope.
taking a piss. That's great.
Yeah, that was the best way. Yeah. Oh man. But
Ah,
yeah, man, we'll have to get to a game with you and then hop on another podcast, talk about the experience and share some more crazy
you
stories
let
with
me
us,
know,
man.
man. Thanks for having me. Whatever you guys need, I'm around, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, if you need anything, you need Danny to walk you anywhere, take you anywhere, you just let us know.
I appreciate it.
Till next time.